Sizzling six guns. Bunce is following me. Somebody else is doing their darndest to stop me. Talk about being between a rock and a hard place.
Doesn't he mean caught between two fires?
Don't ask me. I majored in calisthenics.
Take a long time to be ready to be a toy delivering reindeer, all right? These reindeer can't fly. They don't know nothing about a map. How you can't read a map? We got to deliver toys across the globe in 24 hours. They not ready, man. They just not ready.
So essentially what you're saying, J-Bill, is that you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, because if you do diversify the workforce
At the expense of efficiency.
Florida's largest teachers union is now suing Florida's governor for ordering schools to fully open in a few weeks. And look, until these issues are resolved, most parents in America are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because what do? Do you keep your kids at home, teach them yourself, and eventually blow your brains out? Or do you take the risk, send them to school, and gamble with your family's health?
And we'll just stay low till they box ourselves in.
Beginning to get chilly up here. A couple hours.
I'd say this pair of birds was twixt a rock and a hard place, all right.
So to protect the integrity of the FBI, he did that. That's what you find out. You find out that he was between a rock and a hard place, and he couldn't punt. He had to decide. And there was no easy decision. And
the tricky part is that they had certain sort of games down there they developed, and one was, why not shoot blow darts close to the funny foreign guy to see if he reacts? And this whole thing just, after a couple of days, and anyway, it was a complicated story. It involved me using blowguns in defense against drug lords by the end of it to get out of there, because we were caught between a rock and a hard place for sure.
I was very interested and concerned what was happening with his people, and especially the young people. You know, they're in between a rock and a hard place. There's Tibetans being born in exile, like they don't want to do agricultural work like their parents. What were they going to do? And
Hosanna was terrorizing this morning, and they must have felt like they were between a rock and a hard place this morning, because there was Hosanna, there was lions roaring all over the place. It really couldn't have been pleasant to be in Impala overnight in the early hours of this morning, because there were just threats coming from every direction. But they
comedy isn't slapstick. It's like life. It's like you don't want to look at it. Someone is just she's doing things that are not great, and she's getting stuck between a rock and a hard place, as she should.
Back the heck out of there and backed right into another group of divers. I adjusted and hit my head on a sharp rock. It was so embarrassing, but at least I can say I have literally been trapped between a rock and a hard place.
You know what we have after 13 long months? Suspicions, indications, hints. We even have a few new clues. What we don't have is evidence. Oh, God. You know, I envy you and Eller. I do. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, and it's crushing my head.
So, what do you do when you're caught between a rock and a hard place with no way out?